Anyway, back to the Freako. Back to the fucking Freako, man. Holy. Still here trying to decipher what's going on. We've scoured the. We've literally scoured the social media for his sons, and have none of them have said anything. They're all just kind of keeping it quiet. We're gonna see. Now, Tyrese actually shared some words about what's going on with Diddy, and he said this. He said, "Yo, what I can't do and what I won't do is to downplay the laughter, the fun, the energy, the inspiration on award shows, the studio session, the most legendary parties I've ever attended in my life." Ah, it's a bad time to mention parties, brother. And I also can't act as if my high school backyard parties throughout South Central LA wasn't the craziest parties ever because of Bad Boy on slew of hit record. What? Because of the Bad Boy on slew of hit record. I don't condone or support abuse, bullying, sexual assault, or anything that is being currently alleged. But what I can't do is turn the blinds on how much this means to me and all of us and what he's done for the community of music and culture. Don't worry, I'm the only one crazy enough to jump out there and say what most of you want to say, but don't have the balls to do. Because it's very normal for people to be going through a rough patch and we all sit back and make mockery of it. And I'm not going to do that. I'm praying for Diddy, his kids, his family, his mother, and all of the alleged victims that's in the middle of trying to simply have their voices be heard. I love this brother. He's been nothing but kind and generous to me. And that's the way I feel, praying for more of a better outcome for all of this is happening. God bless you, Diddy. If you ever need to call me and just need a listening ear, I'm right here, bro. With all due respect, Tyrese, the last time we heard you offered a listening ear, you was trying to fuck that nigga's wife, DJ Envy. Shit. You play around with Diddy and try to talk about you're down to listen to his problems and Carisha's problem and then try to fuck Carisha. Diddy will get you knocked the fuck off, nigga. Diddy's not playing that shit, nigga. Diddy is not playing no bullshit like that. Diddy will get you killed, nigga. So you better stop all that. Oh, if you need an ear, a listening ear. Nah, nigga. Also, in his by the way, here we go.
Now it seems like there's so much shit coming across our timelines that we just don't care anymore. We don't care. So I don't want anyone to confuse me last night before I went to sleep, I was praying. I found myself praying for Diddy's kids. I was thinking about Justin and Christian Combs and thinking about the twins who go to school with my daughter. My daughter and his twins have been at pretty much every birthday party. And then I'm just thinking to myself, see, a lot of people will go after Diddy, beat him down for whatever he's either did or being accused of, allegedly. And then it's all about him, right? And I was thinking about the family. I was thinking about the kids. I was thinking about the stress of yesterday. I went home and all of a sudden I'm in handcuffs at the house. It's just trying my best to see things through the lens of the kids, not just him specifically. And then I wanted him to know, irregardless of what he's being accused of and going through, as Minister Louis Farrakhan said, when a man is down, don't laugh at him. Don't make a mockery of him. Don't beat him down. Don't beat him down with your words. You don't have to agree with what somebody did. You don't have to even want to be associated with what somebody did. But everybody deserves prayer. Now it seems like there's so...
Okay, the other person defending him is still Slim Thug. Here we go.
I don't want to see a black man who came so far, almost to $1 billion, fall down. That's our inspiration for it ain't too many of us. I don't want to see they took Kanye down. We forgot about Kanye. And the good thing he able to do his own, man. That's how I look at it, man. We losing another billionaire. over allegations at this point. Still ain't no criminal charges. You know what I'm saying? We only got about 1 billionaire left. Who? Jay-Z? That's the only motherfucker left. Everybody else, let's take the person off of it and who that person is, right? Man, listen. If look at who is wishing this dude fail, you know what I'm saying? It's his own people. It's his own people cheering him, laughing, and Diddy did it and coming up with new slogans for him. It's his own people, man. Like, so take note of this. Man, you would think the motherfucker, he thought a year or two ago when we were popping Ciroc, he thought that we would ride or die for him, man. Like, he thought that the motherfucking world of hip hop would stay down and over, you know, especially without him having a case. Like, especially without him having a case, he would think, hey, man, motherfucker, they gonna ride for me. I live for this hip hop shit. I lived and died this shit. The hip hop community is gonna ride for my innocence. He would assume, I'm sure. Say if he did that, then whatever he get. But so far, I haven't seen no criminal charges. So out for that, I'ma just sit back and hope for the best, you know? I don't want to see nobody go down, man. And for people to celebrate that, love that, want to see that, it's weird to me, man. So, like, it made me want to stay in the house. And people you would never knew they existed want to see this man, whatever. If you work for me, if I came up under you and you over me, fuck you. I don't want to do no business with you. Fuck you. I don't want to see you in the streets. But do I want to see you go to jail for life? Nigga, like, you help me, you're part of my play, regardless if I like you or not. I don't want to see a black man who came so far, almost to $1 billion, fall down. That's how it.
Okay.
Way they did the search.
Gene Deal, who's been talking about this, former bodyguard for Puffy, he actually did an interview, ironically, today, and he's reacting to the fact that Diddy's house got searched.
But the way they did the search warrant and how they did it, man, I thought he was El Chapo or somebody. You know, they took a tactical team in there, brother. They had tactical units. So for them to have a team in New York, because they didn't really mention too much about New York. They had property in New York, property in Miami, and a property in LA, all simultaneously hit. Those different agencies had to get together, plan that, and that's not no bull. You know, that's a lot of manpower, a lot of money. So they want to know how they spent the taxpayer. The taxpayer's gonna know why you spending my money on this to come up with nothing. So you best believe they had something in the first place to go up in there, because they didn't have a search warrant for bodies. They had a search warrant for, like, materials, laptops, telephones, logs, pictures, tapes. You know, that's what they search warrant is for. They didn't have a search warrant for bodies. The news about them arresting the mule, now, they're gonna have to prove that. Now, if that guy becomes a witness, and if they can track anything back to Puff with that, that's going to be one of their star witnesses.
I agree. I actually agree. Anyway, Shug Knight also commented on this. Let me see what
fake evidence, and this is how they pulling you over. Ain't no more sleepovers, ain't no more hangovers. Your kids can't have no friends at all. My God, that's embarrassing, yo. Boy, because you don't know what. Listen. I don't know what dirt he has on other people, but what
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think 100,000,000% there's some videotapes. Let me tell you this: when you into some extra freaky deaky shit, man, that type of shit you could only believe it if you record it. You know what I mean? I guarantee you Diddy has, I don't think Diddy, in my personal opinion, I don't think he has these things. Like, that makes the story more salacious. Yo, he's having these tapes to blackmail people with. I don't think that's what it is. He's a freaky nigga that likes to watch men have sex with his woman, and he can't order a freak off at 2 p.m. in the daytime in between meetings at the bad boy office. He might want to crank one out. He want to whack off real quick. You know what I mean? He want to choke the chicken. He want to just do what he got to do. You know what he going to do? He going to go to that little vault. He going to connect that hard drive. He going to go to his phone, and he going to watch the video of Cassie getting piped out by like 15 strange men. I do think there's videotapes. You get what I mean? But I wouldn't believe that he's using that to blackmail people, because at the end of the day, I do think we live in this era where if you're really blackmailing people with like shit like that, bro, it's probably more powerful for you to just come out and just admit it, and then it would make Diddy look crazier that he even has videos of that. Or now he got to answer more questions about why the fuck that shit even existed. So yeah, I think he got videotapes, right? Definitely think he got videotapes. Now, here's the thing, and this is why Vince McMahon got into some trouble. Vince was showing people. Sometimes some of these guys, right, like they'll and you gotta imagine Diddy might be one of these people too. Like, for example, everybody in here, let's just get a one in the chat if you guys, have done this before. Everybody in here has recorded themselves having sex with their significant other. We're talking about a girlfriend or boyfriend or something like that. One in the chat, I think everybody's done it, right? Now, I'll just wait to see, y'all ones. Let me see. Okay, exactly. Now, here's the thing. Somebody's like, just come out in a minute is wild. There's no, So here's the thing. Everybody probably has a video like that, but so I wouldn't say that's the weird behavior, because I think that a majority of people have recorded themselves. We live in a different era now. I think the weird thing is if you're showing it all your boys. Like, would you show your boys like, yo, this is me fucking my girl right here? Like, would you do that? Like, probably not, right? Like, it's probably for you to watch by yourself, for you to consume, for you to enjoy, you know what I mean? Not for you to, like, pass it around, you know what I mean? Like, pass it around the hood that everybody could watch your girls getting fucked, especially if it's a situation where you're not fucking her. So I think the normal person, you would just have a video, but you're not passing it around. Diddy, the mere fact that he already liked other men to fornicate with his woman, he probably would show videos to people. I'm making this up. I'm just assuming. I'm assuming he would show people videos just to kind of get them down with the program, and also probably try to turn them on, right? That's what I would think. Because normal people just wouldn't do that. But normal people wouldn't let other niggas fuck their chick.
Whatever it is, they got that shit. You better hope that was in a safety deposit box. You better hope that was in a safety deposit box, because they took that. Videotapes. I hope you wasn't as stupid as R. Kelly was. I hope you wasn't that dumb. Got the shit on videotape. Now I hope. Come on, dog. Damn. This ain't Deshaun Combs. I invited to the party. This ain't Deshaun.
Yeah, I think it's there actually. All right.
And you see them put you up on a pedestal. That's because they put you up on a pedestal.
Now, Uncle Luke comes up with this theory, which I think is a kind of credible theory to a certain extent. He says, well, the reason why this is happening to Diddy is that Diddy bit the hand that fed him. And that's the liquor company Diageo, which essentially owns Ciroc and owns De Leon. And once they separated, or once he started asking for too much money and wanted to do too much with them, and they decided to cut ties, that's when all of this bullshit happened. That's actually in line with the time, and I kid you not. Do you think he got sacrificed, and maybe the higher-ups, like the people who would own these companies, these liquor brands, they said, this nigga is getting out of line, let's show him and put him back in his place?
They made you the guy. They placed you.
By the way, is my volume low? Is my volume low?
Turn that
Here we go.
be the Bugattis, they be the mansions on 2 different coasts. They put you up on a pedestal because they need you. It's like some pimp shit. When you got your main girl, you dress her up and she look like this and look like that and do this and you march her into the big room. I'm telling you. So when they put you on that motherfucking pedestal, and then you start thinking it's about you, and you want to take over their shit, them people look back like this. Hold on, who the fuck they think he is? Oh, we'll show you better than we can tell you. Then they'll try to reason with you, and they'll talk to your manager, because your manager look like them, and they'll be like, hey, man, tell your man to chill out. And then the manager come in, and he trying to keep his job. Hey, guy, calm down. And then you go walk around like it's all about you. You got all the cars and the mansions and the jets and all the yachts and all this and all the people running around. You talking about, yeah. And now you want to fight. Now you want to bite the hand that feeds you. Don't your mama ever always tell you that? Your mama say, never bite the hand that feeds you. And so this is how the major corporations work when you try to come after them. Now you put a law.
Chat. Isn't all this eerie though?
Our first guest tonight is a.
I feel like Diddy knew right at this moment.
And I'm on there.
Self, I mean,
I don't know what you're talking about. She just turned 1 year old, and I just released a new album, and it's called The Love Album.
so love is really. Could you trademark the word
Love
love
is
and
in
keep it for
there.
yourself? I mean,
I am love.
hey, speaking of
This
love,
is love.
I saw a guy on the internet the other day who said he used to be your security guard, who said that when you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were going to beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
Yo, this show has gotten crazier since the last time I
It's all about love, though. That's not true?
You really heard that? No.
What? Yeah, I watched it on the internet. You're telling me I can't believe everything I read?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. Jimmy, I thought we was friends. Where did this
What the heck? Did you notice this
love album?
So love is really. Could you trademark the word
Love
love
is
and
in
keep it for
there.
yourself? I mean,
I am love.
hey, speaking of
This
love,
is love.
I saw a guy on the internet the other day who said he used to be your security guard, who said that when you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were going to beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
Yo, this show has gotten crazier since the last time I
It's all about love, though. That's not true?
You really heard that? No.
What? Yeah, I watched it on the internet. You're telling me I can't believe everything I read?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. Jimmy, I thought we was friends. Where did this go?
I also read in the New York Times that you tried toad poison or something like that? Eric Andre was here.
Lawsuit in. Bam! Lawsuit. Fuck that shit. I'm suing their ass. I'm take their company down. Fuck that shit. They taking my brand and my name and likeness and they making millions of dollars.
Interesting. Anyway, this is what Shug got to say.
Finally passed away. No big deal. When Jake finally passed away, we come back. We're in the office. Office in Westwood. Interscope office is right across the hall. I walked in Jimmy's office. I didn't have to knock on the door or get somebody let Jimmy know Mr. Knight that walk right in. He do the same. Anyway, when he walked in my office, we was having a conversation. He overheard somebody say something he probably shouldn't have heard. He wanted to holler at me. So I tell the homies, give me a minute. Jimmy said, man, I'm here because Clyde Davis called me and him and Puppy is real tight and, love us. So I thought he was talking about like they got love for each other. It's all right. He said, yeah, they are lovers. I said, well, why you keep saying that? I said, look, you saying they lovers like they sucking? He said, I don't want to say that, but that's what it means, right? I said, okay. He said, Clyde don't want that to happen to Puppy. He said, but this guy ain't going to be able to do his business because we know what he did. What they did. So I go to prison. come back out from prison, and later on to move ahead. Puffy did a deal with Universal.
Okay. Now, there's some more shit. Former extra host, Tanika Ray, was a former backup dancer or a dancer for Diddy, and has some stories about him. Here we go.
Yeah. You know, we all have stories. Seriously, we all have stories. Mine is horrific, and only 5 people know it. And I probably will never tell it. But since then, I've been like, yep. And I also am very intimately aware that you tell your truth and you become victimized over and over and over and over and over and over. And mind you, I then interviewed him many times. I have a lot of stories, y'all. I've been in Hollywood for 25 years, maybe longer, 30. I got a lot of stories. Unfortunately, maybe I'll write a book one day. But it just is so traumatizing that women just want to live every day and feel safe. And when we revisit, we live in a state of victimhood. And nobody wants to live there. So for those of you like, why didn't you say something then? Because we just want to live. We want to be happy. And we really want to forget the trauma. So there's that. Oh, yeah. You know, we all have stories. Seriously.
The caption says, oh yeah, women hold in a lot to function every day in a man's world. Unfortunately, or something, we could compartmentalize our pain and carry on. We utilize the experience as a lesson and move differently. If I told my story in 96, then what? I just knew to avoid him at all costs. Yes, I danced for him and I kept my space. I was on Vote or Die airplane and kept my space. I interviewed him for his project, kept my space. Nothing has happened is surprising. Ladies, keep space to heal and move on is key. Gathering to incriminate is goals. But in this wild world with a broke-ass system, our healing is priority. Shame on all those men that let this continue. Shame on me for prioritizing my mental health, some would say. But after working in a place that snatches souls, minds intact, and off the light, I save myself. Now, if someone needs me to pile on my story, give me a call. But I think Cassie got it. What the fuck is this? Holy shit, man. It just doesn't stop. It's thing after thing after thing after thing. Somebody say, y'all call Kanye crazy, but he ain't never in these court documents. JT wants to let y'all know she don't do coke. Carisha's so silent. So first of all, I was in a halfway house being drug tested every night when I went in. I explained this years ago. I never did cocaine, never will. It actually destroyed my family. Y'all get on here and make jokes about shit for shits and giggles and don't know people post-trauma or past trauma. Y'all playing with me or stop playing with me, please. Holy shit. We play this.
Deniability with Homeland.
Okay. Akbar wants to know why nobody cares about Diddy's kids. I don't know what Diddy did or what he didn't do. But what I find more disturbing is how the black community is the only community that had his throat not sparing his kids or nothing. Nobody's even trying to spare his motherfucking daughters on the internet. That's the fucked up part. Them babies. Once again, I don't know what's true, what's not, but this has always proved my point. When I say the only skin color that will publicly go against each other is black people. We don't stick together at all. Now, I'm not saying stick together with BS, but them kids are innocent and y'all get a thrill off laughing and joking about somebody else's pain. But what I find more disturbing is that you never catch them Caucasian going against each other on the internet. They gonna stand and stick together or don't open their mouth at all. Y'all may hate this messenger, but y'all know what I'm saying is true. His daughters are in school and I have a daughter. I don't wish that pain on nobody because kids are cruel sometimes. Let's start to do, what the fuck? Huh. Okay. All right, people. All right. Let me make sure I definitely address all the things I need to address about this. This is like, okay. Now I'm hearing there's some Meek Mill snippet. What the fuck is... Yo, Meek, this is time you need to be quiet, bro. Please.
Nigga, I hope they forgive me for what I did with Diddy. Real street nigga forever. Bitch, I'm the king of Philly. Carl Rice all Dream chasers, nigga. I hope they forgive me for what I did with Diddy. Real street nigga forever. Bitch,
wait, what?
I'm the king of Philly. Dream chasers, nigga. I hope they forgive me for what I did with Diddy. Real street nigga forever. Bitch, I'm the king of Philly.
This gotta be a splice track or like some type of deep fake. Like, I no way Meek, like, Meek is dumb, but like, come on. Meek, come the fuck on, bro. Come on, my nigga. Is this a real snippet?
Dream chasers, nigga. I hope they forgive me for what I did with Diddy.
I hope they forgive me for what I did with Diddy.
Real street nigga forever. Bitch, I'm the king of Philly. Dream chasers, nigga. I hope they forgive me for what I did with Diddy. Real street nigga forever. Bitch, I'm the king of Philly.
Nah, this gotta be AI. I'm not believing it. It gotta be AI. Regardless, Meek Mill's silence on this, but his loudness with everything else kind of tells you, I'm not saying he's guilty of anything, but these guys, they were just as silent when all the alleged abuse was going on. And, you know, I'm hoping that this is false for everyone's sake, and even definitely Diddy's. But if it does come out that Diddy was actually doing all this crazy shit, like, we are gonna have to start blaming some of these silent enablers, right? Y'all been to these parties, y'all have heard these rumors, y'all have heard about alleged victims, and y'all did nothing. And even when the accusations came around, y'all kept quiet. And if you were around him or, you know, involved in any of these scenarios, even if you weren't the culprit yourself, you enabled this type of bullshit. So, like, so some of these people who are quiet, I know they want to be just kept out of the mess, but nah, some of y'all was enabling this bullshit. Some of y'all was being used by Diddy to normalize this bullshit, right? Like, think about the Lil Rod lawsuit. Not saying this is true, but what he alleged was that Diddy would say, yo, you know I do this with these other niggas too. Like, we do these things, so why can't I do it with you? So again, I do think some of these rappers or whoever, when I see them complete silence, I'm like, something's up here. And also, you're kind of normalizing this. The fuck is this?
This message is for Meek Mill and Meek Mill only. Hi, handsome. Just want to say I'm here for moral support and physical support as well. My close group of friends know I've always found you very attractive. Although I'm not enjoying your latest look with the braids, maybe we can, you know, go to the barbershop and get a haircut. Just want to say I'm here for you. If you need support,
What the hell?
Support physically and emotionally, I'm here. Just book me a nice, you know, one-way ticket. This message is for Meek Mill and Meek Mill only.
Okay. Okay, then. Homeland Security officer reportedly said Diddy's raid was based off concrete allegations collected from victims. When charges come down, we will get him wherever he is. What the fuck? In a statement to New York Post, an officer with the Department of Homeland Security says, we believe that there's a disturbing history of sex trafficking. The officer went on to say, we are responding to concrete, detailed, explicit allegations. This is not random. We did not choose his name out of a hat. I'm going to be honest with you, this statement seems a little funny. Like, why would a Homeland Security officer talk to the New York Post, even anonymously? Like, why would they be this in-depth? Like, you don't got to convince them. Like, their PR is not going to give a PR statement about them investigating Diddy. They'll might do a press conference when he gets arrested, if he does, but why are they giving so much detail? Anyway, it's not random. They feel like they're validating themselves. We didn't choose his name out of a hat. We had allegations that we're following up on. Feds collect the number of, okay, let's see if we go to the New York Post itself and find this. Okay, federal officials. Give me a second. Let me see. Pause on this site. Here we go. Federal officials were acting on specific allegations of sexual trafficking when they raided two of Diddy's homes on Monday. And they say his alleged victims have been not holding back during interviews. An officer with the Department of Homeland Security told the Post that the case had been active for several weeks as authorities investigate a range of allegations against the 54-year-old rapper and mogul. We believe that there's a disturbing history of sex trafficking, said the Miami-based officer who spoke under the condition of anonymity. We are responding to concrete, detailed, explicit allegations. This is not random. We did not choose his name out of a hat. We had allegations that we're following up on. The public first became aware of the allegations against Diddy when his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, filed a federal civil lawsuit against him in November last year. That case was settled out of court the next day, but has been followed by 3 lawsuits alleging sexual assault, all of which Diddy strongly denied. Okay? But this house is beautiful. Fuck. I think this is one in Homely Hills. Yeah. He has also not been charged with any crime or wrongdoing at this stage. We became aware of certain allegations during the course of civil suits. Oh, wow. They're just a minute. During the course of the civil suits against Mr. Combs, you have to understand we didn't just decide on a whim to search his house. Clearly, y'all can't. Y'all have to go get a search warrant. Federal judge has decided to sign off. This isn't a witch hunt. An attorney for Combs, Aaron Dyer, did not return the Post messages for comment. On Monday, when Homeland Security agents raided Mr. Combs' mansion both in LA and Miami, they confiscated hard drives, phones, and other evidence. The officer tells the Post that they're looking for photos, emails, texts, itineraries, hopefully names that are specific communications that we're aware of There are specific communications that we're aware of that we will be able to access on the electronics. The multi-agency investigation is being spearheaded by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York. Monday's search was executed by the Homeland Security investigators, okay? I believe this woman is probably talking. Cassie's probably talking. In a statement, Diddy's lawyer said it was a gross overuse of military force, and we read that statement before. They said DHS operative said those interviewed for the investigation have been thorough and detailed. Wow, I don't know why. I can't see a DHS or somebody giving this interview and their superiors would approve. But I guess it's anonymous, but still, like, whatever. Anyway, that's funny about the victims. They might be reluctant to speak at first, but once they start talking, they talk. They talk a lot. We're getting a lot of cooperation from people who want to see him brought to justice. Why would a cop say that? Why would a Fed say that? Y'all don't have, this shit has not been grand juried. Why would you say that before then? Diddy was stopped boarding a private jet out of the U.S. on Monday and was believed to have remained in Florida since. However, despite the raids attracting a great deal of attention, he remains a free man. He's not under arrest. He's under investigation. The law enforcement source made clear. He is free, right enough to do what he wants, but he is aware that if charges come down, we will get him wherever he is. Fuck. If that's a real DHS source, real Homeland Security agent, seems to me they're gonna have no problem indicting him if they have this many victims, and if all they're looking for is, you know, things to corroborate sex trafficking, which is itineraries, moving people across countries, maybe like, you know, instructions to other people like, hey, yo, book her a plane here, this and third, or hey, yo, go get like this drug for the freak off tonight. Like, who knows? God damn. Holy crap. Chat, I see you guys, you know, I see all your donations and stuff like that. I'm about to get through reading them now. Holy crap. All right. Where's the donations? Okay, cool. All right. Thank you guys for sending any donations that you did. I see some people. Jay Elixir, thank you for the 5. It says, love from Hudson County. Honestly, do you think Drake is going to respond to K-Dot soon? Plus, have you heard the AI Drake response? I have not heard the AI Drake response. And I do think Drake absolutely 100% will respond to K-Dot soon. No. Jordan Esther, thank you for the 10. By the way, also, I think this Diddy situation happening is helping Drake create more space, because it's one thing when this is the biggest and only thing people are talking about in media. Oh, Drake just got dissed by Kendrick. It feels like a pressurized situation that he has to respond sooner than later. We are distracted by this. He could take his time, and I don't think he's going to drop a dedicated diss song. I think he's going to respond on a verse on somebody else's album. Jordan Nestor says, who's going to the freak off tonight? Series finale. Supercharged Tio, thank you for the 10. Says Tyrese is just a freaky pastor, bro. David 3707 says, yo, Meek's lawyer said something. Law and Crimes has it. Let's go there. Law and Crimes. Said everything we know. We should go there. Who's Meek's lawyer, by the way? Oh. Meek Mill's lawyer speaks on Diddy. What the fuck?
Who better to talk about the high-profile case of Sean Diddy Combs than the attorney who's represented some very high-profile celebrities like Bill Cosby and Meek Mill? Brian J. McMonagle gives his take and advice for Diddy. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Combs is the target. Potentially, Combs is happy to get your perspective on this. Brian, thanks so much for coming on. Pleasure to meet you. So I got to just get your overall take on what happened here. I will tell you, first of all, we talked about before the air, we've done stories on Diddy. I was maybe not one of the people that was that shocked when this came down, because we were reporting on lawsuits where he was accused of sex trafficking and sexual assault. But to see what happened the other day, what was your reaction to it?
I was shocked. They didn't just come heavy; they came nuclear. Seeing the kind of federal response you saw at the execution of those warrants was stunning. It looked like they were hitting El Chapo's house when I saw it on the news. And I had the same reaction. I mean, I had been looking at it and hearing the allegations and studying some of the lawsuits, but I never thought it would rise to the level of federal intervention, particularly at that level. Stunned. And my initial thoughts were twofold. One is that they're very close to indicting somebody, or two, they had some really hard intel that told them they had to move quickly so they could discover evidence that their information was indicating was either located at one of these residents, but it was stunning in terms of the swiftness and the breadth of it, I must tell you.
Well, listen, I wanted your perspective too, because it's fresh off the presses late yesterday. Diddy's attorney, he's now being represented by Aaron Dyer, released a very long statement on the rapper's behalf. As a defense attorney,
By the way, Kelvin Haynes, thank you for the 50. He says, yo, people don't mention but Diddy's connected to the owner of Zeus, and they paid for his last party. There's rumors that all of the women there are escorts. Really? So are you tying Lemuel Plumber in this? And Smokey Boat with 5 says, yo, did you hear the leaked audio of Meek allegedly getting clapped? No Diddy, bro. Like, literally, no Diddy.
Curious your perspective on it. So it says, quote, yesterday, there was a gross overuse of military-level force as search warrants were executed at Mr. Combs' residences. There is no excuse for the excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by authorities or the way his children and employees were treated. Mr. Combs was never detained, but spoke to and cooperated with authorities. Despite media speculation, neither Mr. Combs nor any of his family members have been arrested, nor has their ability to travel been restricted in any way. This unprecedented ambush, paired with an advanced, coordinated media presence, leads to a premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs, and is nothing more.
We're gonna pause this to go to so that's Meek's lawyer, and he's gonna give some insight. But we have a former federal FBI agent who's gonna comment as well, and apparently they say that no doubt Diddy's gonna face charges. So it's not even like, oh, will there be charges?
More evidence may come out. Some I do, some I don't. But we do have an extradition treaty with them. Right now, though, because of the public nature of this, I have a very hard time believing that a country would allow his plane to land with him on it in their country. They don't have to let him land if they don't want to. And so I think that it would be very difficult for him to be able to land in an inhospitable country simply because they don't want him. We do have extradition treaties with more countries than I think people would think. And typically they will send folks back to us as long as we take the death penalty off of the table. And I don't believe that this is a death penalty case. It's Southern District of New York. And so I believe that whether we have an extradition treaty or not with whatever country he may or may not go to,
So she's initially talking. I believe at first the rumors were like he's in the plane somewhere in the air, and he might go to another country. That wasn't true. But let's go to her just kind of analyzing what she's seen and what she thinks could happen.
Imminent danger. And so part of me wonders if this was done to stop that, and that they will get to the arrest obviously at some point, because, you know, as you mentioned, typically these warrants are served and there's usually an indictment that goes, you know, hand in hand with that at the same time. So in my opinion, it's not unheard of. It's just a little bit unusual. We don't typically see this. Anytime we did raids at the FBI of this nature, we also had an arrest warrant for the individual as well. And so it is unusual, but I don't want to say it's unheard of. And again, I'm just speculating, but part of me wonders if this was still actively being distributed. And if it is, they need to shut that down immediately.
Were you surprised at the response that we saw from Douglas Wigdorf? This is a lawyer for Cassie Ventura and one of the Jane Does in response to reports of this search warrant that was issued on Sean Combs. Now, remember, Cassie Ventura settled with Sean Combs, but the statement says, quote, "We will always support law enforcement when it seeks to prosecute those that have violated the law. Hopefully, this is the beginning of a process that will hold Mr. Combs responsible for his depraved conduct." Now, again, in light of that settlement doesn't necessarily mean you're saying Combs is completely innocent. It's you've agreed to resolve the issue. Doesn't, you know, absolve him of wrongdoing. But to make that statement, I think that's something to be said. Now, again, of course, he's representing someone else that's continually suing Sean Combs. But again, that statement I thought was really interesting. What was your take on it?
Yeah, I thought that statement was interesting. My question about it, though, is did he tip them off? Did he provide them with information? You know, did Cassie Ventura or any of these individuals involved in these civil suits also provide evidence along with that to build this criminal case? Because obviously those two things are separate. So in my opinion, in listening to that statement, it actually sounds like maybe they did. And you know, that's incredible that they did that, because I believe that Cassie Ventura was absolutely a victim of pretty horrific things. And if she was able to document all of that and provide evidence, then that absolutely would go to building his criminal case.
It's so crazy to think about this. I mean, again, and I'm not surprised by that connection to New York, because I go back to Little Rod Jones, and he said he was assaulted at different places, including in New York. So again, what can we expect next to happen as this story develops? And I imagine it's going to develop quite rapidly.
I agree with you. I think it's going to develop quite rapidly as well. I think the next thing that will happen is an indictment of P. Diddy. That's what I think, and that he will be taken into custody hopefully soon at some point. But honestly, I'm not sure. This is, like I said, a little bit unusual, and that there isn't an indictment yet, although I think one may be forthcoming.
What about other individuals? Because remember, going back to one of the lawsuits, there was an allegation there were violations of the TVPA, the Trafficking and Victims Protection Act, big law aimed at fighting against domestic and international human slavery. And they were filing a civil action with respect to it. But you're basically saying these minors are engaging in commercial sex acts. I would imagine that if this is a really big operation, we could potentially see arrests of other individuals connected to the rapper, right?
I agree. I think we will probably see the arrest of one or both of his sons, because I believe that they, based on evidence and cases that we've seen in the past from a civil perspective, they have been allegedly involved in this. But at the same
What? I really think that his sons was going to skate by. But we keep seeing Justin Combs. Justin Combs, his name is constantly mentioned. We don't see King Combs' name be mentioned.
Same time too, I think that there may be a lot of people who have associated with him in his circle that are probably scared right now, because they may have had some involvement in this as well. And so in my opinion, I think they will start at the top, obviously arresting Diddy or his sons. And from there, in my opinion, they may try to plea. I don't think he's going to completely avoid jail time or anything like that if he's indicted, but maybe they will try to plea to get names of other individuals that are associated with this. But again, completely my hypothesis, Jesse.
And I'll leave on this. There was reporting, there was an allegation that Combs may have been allegedly harassing Mr. Jones. Witch hunt based on meritless.
You know, with the strike force here, if you need information or if you need evidence, we've got it. And we look forward to cooperating with an investigation that'll clear my client's good name. And I think that's the only way you can read that.
Talk to me about, though, if this gives you any indication about where Diddy is. When I say that is, there was a question of did he leave the country, right? It seems to me if he's somehow cooperating and maybe gave up electronic devices, that he would still be in the country. You think that's a fair assessment?
It's hard to tell. I mean, if he had some pre-existing plans, it wouldn't be surprising. A guy with that lifestyle could be anywhere. But I would think it would make sense for everybody, if he's not in the country, for him to get back in the country quickly. Any important matter in your life deserves your attention. If I was advising him, I'd be advising him to come back home, to hold his chin up, and to get ready to deal with what's coming. It's probably going to start raining soon for him, and he's going to want to make sure that he makes it clear to everybody he's got nothing to run from and that he won't run from anything. So if he's not in the country, I would expect in short order he will be back in the country without question.
Unless he went to a country that doesn't have an extradition policy. But let me ask you this.
That usually doesn't work out too well.
Oh, no? I mean, again, people were like, oh, my gosh, if he knew the heat was on him, he's just going to go somewhere where he doesn't have to come back. But you don't suspect that's what the case is.
Yeah, it's a small world. I've had some people try that. It doesn't usually work out too well.
Let me ask you this. The idea, and you are echoing, I think, what a lot of other attorneys, legal analysts have said, that it seems charges are about to come down. Now, I will tell you, a lot of people have said that they thought that with a raid, there would be an indictment in conjunction with it. People would be arrested. We haven't seen that. It's been, at the time of this recording, 2 days since the raid. Are you surprised we haven't seen arrests in connection with this, again, what is a purported sex trafficking investigation? And do you think charges are going to come?
On the first question, I'm not surprised. I mean, they usually do it one of two ways. They'll either come heavy and indict immediately, or they're coming heavy to try and secure evidence so they can start a process of putting evidence before a grand jury. I mean, we don't even know if there has been any evidence presented to a grand jury yet. They're the feds. They're not the state courts, and they are not going to indict somebody or charge somebody on somebody's word alone, I can assure you. And so they want to try and develop as much evidence, forensic evidence. They're going to be looking at phones. They're going to be looking at travel. They're going to be looking at corroborating every allegation that's been made in these lawsuits. I wouldn't be surprised if they took their time because they know that they're going to get the best representation in the world for the celebrity, and they're not going to look to want to lose. And so, they're very interesting in how they operate.
Let me see how the Breakfast Club talks.
Worldwide Jess, worldwide mess.
It's from me right here.
That's right, the Jess with the mess.
Thank you.
Because it's real, allegedly.
Exactly. Now, sources didn't reveal how much Diddy sold his shares for, but I think we're going. All right. He also claimed that Paul acquires and distributes guns and drugs for Diddy and negotiates the fees sex workers receive while working for Diddy.
Was it a picture?
Yeah, it was a picture. They was in a little red room, you know what I'm saying? And his hand was on his leg, and Lil Rob is looking like, okay, is this what we giving? That's what I got from the photo, but that's all allegedly, okay? Moving a little bit further.
When Harvey Weinstein was going through the same thing, I don't remember them raiding his crib like that. I don't remember them pulling up on guns and military and helicopters and boats. I don't remember all that and the super big long rifles and pistols. Yeah. I don't remember that for him when they arrested him. I just thought that was just a lot of power.
I'm not here to compare anything. I'm not even gonna do the whataboutism, but I don't like any of this. Like if this stuff is true, then as you can see, Diddy will be held accountable. But to sit around and act like I enjoy hearing any of this, I don't. So when you hear Jess with the mess talking about these stories and it sounds like I don't want to talk about it, it's because I don't like seeing people's legacies destroyed, especially if we find out it's self-inflicted. It makes me think about all types of things. Why can't people get out their way? Why do we always self-destruct? Why can't people just appreciate the blessings God gives them and do right by people? If y'all take pleasure in watching people crumble, God bless you. I don't.
No.
Charlamagne has definitely grown because the Charlamagne I know was clowning the fuck out of R. Kelly. That nigga had every joke for R. Kelly, nigga. When R. Kelly was crashing and burning, it was laugh time. But Diddy, it's a little bit different. I think this is some growth by Charlamagne. Though. Some growth, you know what I mean? Like back in the day, he used to do mad fat jokes. He don't even do fat jokes anymore. So I think maybe it's growth.
I mean, either. But the sad thing is, if he's found innocent, his world is destroyed. Like he hasn't been charged. He hasn't been arrested. All we heard is these civil cases, which is the crazy part. But these civil cases are, regardless if he's found innocent or guilty, if he's found innocent, his life is destroyed.
But that's the thing. Although he wasn't the focus of the raid and the investigation at that time, they had reason to come there for that, and his kids were in cuffs. They just ain't gonna do that.
Okay.
The feds, so I think trying to read too much into timing could be problematic, particularly if they didn't find anything. I mean, what did these searches yield? Did they get any evidence? Is there anything that they obtained that would make them run before a grand jury and bring charges? You know, I think they're going to take their time unless they've got it. And I'd be surprised if they had it yet.
A couple of things there, right? So we know that you would need probable cause for a search warrant. They did show quite the presence. Now, you could say...
Damn, this shit look like you are going after El Chapo. Like, I didn't even know police had... Yo, this is probably the only time a year they get to bring out this motherfucking truck. And they brought it out in Miami. Shit look clean, though. This is what the Cybertruck is supposed to look like. This is how I want my Cybertruck to look, just like this. Fuck that.
And I'm I'm reading the lawsuits, right? And you read, if you take the allegations in the lawsuits, it's true that Diddy is surrounded by weapons, that he has quite the security presence, large properties. You don't know what you're entering into. I've spoken to law enforcement experts who say it's not surprising they came with that level of military reinforcements, or they talk about military grade. But at the same time, the way that they did it.
By the way, Goddess Queen Just Me 23, thank you for the 5. She said, Diddy did this all wrong. Why didn't he just use the swinger clubs? They would have just had sex for free. Somebody said, what happened to the white girl that Diddy adopted? Somebody said, all this confusion is good for Drake because now he don't got to respond to K-Dot. He can let that blow over. Lucky Cloud says, what's actually outrageous is that all the artists that fell off or have bad projects over in the camp of Bad Boy literally chose homosexual hijinks over making music. Zero professionalism. Hemi says, Act, thank you for being a good journalist. Akademiks Gun Cleaner says, yo, Act, do you think Diddy's going to be charged? I think so. And we keep making these assumptions, but I do believe that Diddy is going to be charged, and the reason why I believe he's going to be charged is the things that he is being accused of. It's so much allegations. Something is going to stick that they could probably get past the grand jury. Now, put it like this. I think if it was like just sexual assault, right? Say it was sexual assault of Cassie. That he might not get charged with that, right? Like, it's like, yo, that has a specific definition and you have to have certain proof to prove it. They're going to be thinking about a racketeering charge, which is very loosely defined. And you see, they could indict anybody with like a RICO or racketeering, as long as you have like some type of organization that was systematically doing the crime, right? And sex trafficking, if it's true about these freak-offs and they're hiring escorts and people are feeling pressured, yeah. So I do think there's going to be charges brought, just because sex trafficking and racketeering, which is what they gave to R. Kelly, those things, I don't want to say the burden of proof is less, but all the rumors about Diddy kind of go into both. And it's different if it was like, okay, yo, did Diddy shoot somebody, right? You know, like you'd have to actually prove the logistics of that to get charges, or have some type of proof about the logistics of how that happened to get charges brought. With this, it's kind of like where there's smoke, there's fire. Look at how what's happening with Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug. Bro, we're just gonna tell you about every crime he's ever done, every time he threw up a fucking blood sign, and pretty much how he's like a gang member that's a criminal, and let's get this guy sent to jail. So if those are the charges, which is like almost like a racketeering charge in that sense for Jeffrey, racketeering charge, I think it's easy to indict on, and then sex trafficking, I think it's gonna be easy to indict because there's a bunch of victims and a bunch of people who keep saying freak offs, and there's the parties. Like Diddy single-handedly introduced us to a phrase, freak offs. You know what I mean?
Was quite a statement, and to not have it be in conjunction with other charges at the moment, you say, it could have been that there's reporting that they had been speaking to certain individuals. Again, the belief is that this is emanating from the Southern District of New York, the U.S. attorneys for the Southern District.
Omega Drip says the reason why there are no charges is they're looking for evidence. Of course they're looking for evidence, but here's the thing. I think they're looking for the cherry on top of the pie. They have witnesses. I believe they have people who are cooperating. So they have witnesses, cooperants, so people who have turned on Diddy. And now what they want is like something else to back it up, which is, oh, we have a tape or we have, this electronic stuff of communication that actually corroborates what the witnesses and the cooperants are going to say.
District of New York. But it seems, do you feel that they had more than just statements from witnesses to go after these properties, to go into these properties like that?
Yeah, there's no doubt that they had something that kind of suggested a clear and present danger, or something that suggested to them that there was going to be real evidence there that could be destroyed. I don't think they would have came in the way they came without some hard intel. And so, I mean, that tells me one of two things. It tells me that they're getting real information about criminal activity, whether it's true or not, who the heck knows. The criminal activity is ongoing. Otherwise, they wouldn't have came the way they came without an indictment. But I just think it's always... You need to be cautious in terms of trying to understand their mindset. I don't know what drove those warrants. I don't know what that probable cause was. And I think that will tell us everything once those warrants get unsealed and charges emanate. But, they can always charge a couple of different ways in a federal case. You can charge by an information, or you can charge by a grand jury indictment. They've done neither here. And I think they were hoping to find something. And whether they found it or not, I don't know. But I didn't get a sense of that.
By the way, as I cover stories like this, I always think about what are some ways we can protect ourselves in this absolutely crazy world. Rape, really horrible, horrendous things, settles with him. She could be Jeffrey Epstein. But big question I keep getting asked is, if this is true, is this just what was going on and nobody spoke up and nobody said anything? Was this just like part of the hip hop world? I mean, because it's you read the allegations in these lawsuits, it is next level.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that this could be going on with the world not knowing. There's always too many people involved. There's a lot of money, and you can spend a lot of money keeping people quiet if there's criminal activity. But it would be stunning to me if all of these allegations are true, and everybody put their head in the sand. It's just unimaginable to me, quite frankly, because everybody's looking for an angle. Everybody's looking to make a buck. You've got people making accusations every day trying to derive some financial benefit from it. So it is shocking that it could have gone on that long, if it ever went on at all, without somebody knowing. But I think we're going to find out. I don't know if we're going to find out in a week or a month or 6 months, but I think something's going to come of this. It's the rarest of occasions where they execute warrants at this level and don't end up doing something about it. So I think that, Diddy's team is going to be poised for, charges to be leveled at some level at some point in time. Just how quickly, it's hard to tell.
Well, again, you represent high-profile people. What would you be advising Diddy right now if you were representing him?
Yeah, I'd be telling him, hey, listen, you're innocent. You haven't done anything wrong, so act like you haven't done anything wrong. Live your life. Keep your friends close and keep your enemies away from you. Walk like you're innocent. Talk like you're innocent. Continue to do the things that you do every day. Try to get yourself invested in some good things if you aren't already. I'm sure he's got a lot of charities, et cetera, that he's working on. Show yourself to be who we say you are. I think in that way, you don't make a bad situation, if it is a bad situation, even worse. So I think he's got to put a good face on and to make sure he lets the world know, and ultimately his jury know, that he's innocent. And I would take an aggressive approach if I was them. I really would, because this is a case that's going to garner an enormous amount of publicity. You're talking to jurors with your actions. And so he wants to make those actions real and right. And I'm sure that'll happen. I'm sure he's in the best of hands. And they'll make sure that he's sending a message loud and clear to any particular jury pool that he's innocent of these charges, and he looks forward to defending them.
Now, let's say he's not charged yet, right? Would you? I'm not sure, but he's being attacked on the PR machine. I mean, everybody is saying things about him right now. And to give you an example, so 50 Cent came out, basically was trolling Diddy a lot. I know they have a feud. It's posted on Instagram. Now it's not Diddy do it, it's Diddy done. They don't come like that unless they got a case. It just got real. The feds in all the cribs. Damn, they got the kids in cuffs. Aubrey O'Day, who was part of Danity Kane, that was a music group that was started, I believe, by Diddy. She came out and said, "What you sow, you shall reap. I pray this emboldens all of us victims to finally speak on what we have endured." Would you advise Diddy to make a statement personally, whether it's an interview in a media outlet or a statement of his own on social media, to respond to this?
Only if it's controlled. I've seen disaster after disaster. We saw it in the Penn State case where people went on Dateline, the defendant went on Dateline and got interviewed. It would have to be controlled. I think it would have to be brief. I think once you go down that road, you run into a lot of trouble. Keep in mind that the story here is a better story if he did it than if he didn't. And I've tried to be on the other side of that in cases, and you can see it go both ways. In our case with Meek, obviously the media was rooting for him because it was right, it was just. In other cases I've had, they didn't care what the accused had to say. That's not the story for them. The story is better if it's that he did it. And so I think if he's going to make any kind of a statement at all, it'd be a prepared statement, it'd be a quick statement, did he not take questions, and it'd be something probably as perfectly crafted as the response you saw from his lawyer. And that would be the end of it. Taking interviews, I think, can be a disaster. One misstep during an interview, and it's a news cycle for a month that you'll never be able to overcome. So very limited in terms of a response, but perhaps a response that's measured and brief.
And let's say Diddy is hit with these massive sex trafficking related charges, and you were to represent him. How do you defend him at trial? Again, you've represented very high profile people. Cosby is a name that comes up in a very high profile case. How would you represent him?
Well, I think it depends on what the evidence is. If the evidence is allegations being made by individuals, you do it the old-fashioned way. You develop an investigation. You find out everything that they've ever said about him, any motives they would have to lie about him, and one by one you try and dissect the allegations. I don't think there's another way to do it. Sometimes you get real lucky in these cases. Somebody makes an allegation that you were somewhere at some place at some time, and you weren't.
I think that's what Lil Rod was almost about to do, but now he amended his lawsuits, and his lawsuit seems more credible now. Because at first, Lil Rod's lawsuit looked like it was a piece of bullshit. They were incorrect about the woman being underage. Supposed they had some party. They were incorrect about it being Stevie J in that porn video. They made other accusations that later got easily debunked. That lawsuit looked like it was going good nowhere fast. I think it just got new legs after the Ethiopia declaration. Also, she's removed from the lawsuit, and there's much more new information that is also given more credence to what we're seeing now. Like, for example, Brendan Paul is sprinkled all over it, and I think they watched the news and seen Brendan Paul got locked up and be like, shit, we should put him in the lawsuit too. And it just looks more credible, but it might still not be credible. But again, at least for right now, in the eye of the public, the opinion of in the public court, the court of public opinion, I mean, it looks more credible as we are looking at it now. So
these other individuals, I'm sure, are being interviewed in the media. You want to get every single soundbite they've ever given, everything they've ever said about the case, and hold up those inconsistencies one against the other.
Sean Combs, the music mogul, recently inundated with a
of urgency. I don't.
Nice little kissing or dancing almost face to face with a purported underage girl. So many times in this latest lawsuit, his son is implicated in this alleged wrongdoing.
I believe, just like I do believe that charges for Diddy are forthcoming, I believe that charges for his sons most likely are as well. Now, given the raid and when it occurred, if they were in illegal possession of firearms based on California gun laws, then they could have probably taken them into custody right then and there for obvious reasons. I don't think that that's what they're going to do. I suspect that they were simply detained for the duration of the search and then they were let go. But again, I'm simply hypothesizing here. But I do think at this point, if his sons had been arrested and formally booked, we would know probably at this point based on public access to those documents, and we don't know that information. And so I just assume that for the safety of everyone there, they were physically detained during the duration of the search, which again is very normal procedure in something like this.
There obviously been a lot of reaction and a lot of response to that, including in the celebrity route. I mean, 50 Cent posted on Instagram about the raids. Now it's not Diddy do it, it's Diddy done. They don't come like that unless they got a case. Speaking of that, so if we think about the possibility of a sex trafficking investigation, sex trafficking related charges, if we go to December 2023, there was a woman who accused Combs and former Bad Boy Entertainment president Harvey Pierre and another person of sex trafficking and gang raping her when she was 17 years old. There was a Jane Doe who says that she was flown from Michigan to New York City, supplied with drugs and alcohol, and then assaulted by all three men at Combs' recording studios. Now, Combs, by the way, has always denied the allegations. And in fact, in response to one lawsuit, had posted, I believe it was on Instagram, "Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation, and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been.
All right. Anyway, I think we're Diddy'd out for a little bit. By the way, chat, I'm not gonna lie. I have to run shortly. I can't tell you why, but I'm cooking up a new good interview for you. Which, by the way, I don't know if you guys seen.
Sean Combs, the music
Oh my God.
mogul, recently.
Stop. Did y'all see this? This is gonna be dropping soon. Oh fuck, it's gone off my story. Anyway, Freddie Gibbs' baby mama came in and did an interview. She's now a prospective artist. She exposed the shit out of him, called him broke, bum ass nigga. Told me he had erectile dysfunction. Basically said that he was a cuck. She would come home after fucking a bunch of other niggas, you know what I mean, for work. And he was cool with it until pretty much y'all bullied him into feeling that it wasn't cool for her to get fucked anymore by other guys. So who knows? Anyway, oh shit, I was trying to post this. Did I not post it yet? Did I not post it? Oh shit, I didn't post yet. Okay. Rick Ross. Actually, let's go to his story. Instagram.com, Rich Forever. He's clearly not fucking with Drake. Other than the unfollow, apparently he's just openly bumping. He's bumping like the diss song from Kendrick to Drake. Here we go.
Every day hustle like weed.
No, it's not it.
Every day hustle like weed.
Right.
Drinking high, taking trench.
I mean, honestly, it's kind of like baffling to me why the hell Rick Ross is kind of involved in all this. But I guess he's Team Kendrick. Guess he's gonna be Team Kendrick.
Okay, Curly won the first year. Number one.
Yeah, he hasn't said much other than that. Okay. What's that say? Someone said Charlamagne admitted to watching the R. Kelly tape. Act, you think Floyd owns a strip club and Zoo sponsored all his events? They're all connected. So you got to think. Okay, so y'all trying to draw a parallel between Diddy, the guy who owns Zoos, which is Lemuel Plummer, and Floyd Mayweather. Floyd did say this about Diddy recently, though, didn't he? Floyd Mayweather, Diddy.
Even like P. Diddy. I'm not going to speak bad about P. Diddy because he's still a black man. Mistakes happen, and I can't say if it is or it's not a mistake, but things happen in life. And P. Diddy business is P. Diddy business. It's not my job or anyone else's job to go on the internet and stump him and kick a man while he's down. My take on it is it's not my business. I don't think it's right at all, and I don't condone it. Even if that happened to my daughter, I would be hurt. But that's the choice that my daughter made.
Yeah.
So I don't want to kick nobody while they're down.
I think the big thing, because I have girls too, is though.
No boys?
I have a boy too.
Okay.
Is one, if your son is in that position or your son is accused of those things that Diddy was accused of, like, I'm going to believe in my son and what he says, but I'm going to check him about that. I'm going to check him about whether or not these are things you've done. I'm also going to check him about putting himself in those positions. And on the other side that we have to be very careful of, especially when talking about women, is that if
Rolling Stone says, what's Young Miami's in-call rates? I don't know, brother. You talking prostitute talk? I don't know that.
Right, that's something that was done to them. And I wasn't in those rooms, so I can't cast aspersions on Diddy and say that he did it or he did do it or he's an evil man or he is. What I am saying is if those things happen to those women, not only is it not right, it's also not their fault.
Mm-hmm. We was like 1 month old.
Money. So they want to know how they spent the taxpayer. The taxpayer's going to know why you spent illegal guns. The constitutional right goes the right to bear arms, but he had to have licenses for that. So if anybody got illegal guns up in there, if they find any kind of drugs to a high amount, cocaine and weed. I don't think Diddy gonna get charged because what he did. He put everything in his kid's name and his company.
Did you see the video of his kids in handcuffs?
Yeah, that's a tactical thing. The kids being in handcuffs is a tactical thing that law enforcement use, you understand, hoping that people who've never been in handcuffs before, that it either scares them or want to make them talk. There's no reason after they searched those kids, because they didn't have a search warrant for bodies. They had a search warrant for like materials, laptops, telephones, law. Puff has been dodging the legal system for years. His affiliation with BMF, even though Meech has said that Puff never did anything, Puff never been around her, they still was partying together. So in the authorities' mind, they feel like Puff knew what Meech was doing. Then with the introduction to Jacob and different people, and a lot of people going to jail for money laundering and stuff like that, Puff being, and this is documented, Puff being a CI for an FBI agent. I said this years ago that Kim and Kirk Burrows took some paperwork. They was taking some papers up to the FBI, so like when they was here in New York. They was taking paperwork up there and stuff like that. Don't know what it was, but later on found out that he was a CI. You understand? Now, what happens? He don't have that. The guy probably, that was 20, 30 years, 20-some years ago. The guy probably retired. Puff ain't dealing with him. No, he didn't pass Puff on or something like that. So now, Puff been dodging the legal system. With the people had it wrong. They think it was with the Black Mafia family. No, it was with Butt Naked. I said this years ago. The person that he said is a senior advisor, Corey Jacobs. Corey had 9 16-to-life sentences for drug trafficking. You make him your senior advisor, even though that was your man, he coming home. That's your man, patching pots and pans. But Whoop was the one who took care of them when they was away. You know what I'm saying? Whoop was the one who took care of them. So now, you got all these, these characters, around you. What they gonna think when they come to your house? They got the evidence, or they had statements that you blew up Kid Cudi's car? You understand what I'm saying?
They're looking for bomb making shit, man. Yo, chat. Yo, I hate to actually leave y'all because we've been busting recently, and I hate to even get off stream, but I do gotta run, people. I'll be back tomorrow, probably around noon or so, and I'll give you guys a longer stream. But I gotta run to go do some, some interview shit. Okay. Appreciate you guys for tuning in today. If you guys are new to the channel, you guys have to hit the subscribe button if you want to be able to talk in the chat. If you guys are on the King Akademiks channel, please, you got to hit the, just become a member. It will allow you to get a couple extra perks and also you can watch all the full broadcasts in full. If you're on Rumble, appreciate you guys so much, and even on Twitch and even on Facebook. Again, I got to run. I know y'all wanted a little bit longer stream and a more in-depth breakdown, but we'll get to it tomorrow, okay? I'm super sorry. Please accept my apology, but I definitely got to run because I'm right up against the clock. I'm not going to lie to you, all right? Chat, love y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Yeah, we'll try to.
Man, oh man, this whole Diddy situation is wild, man. Like, every single day, it's just something new and new and new that comes out about Diddy. Like, these freak-offs, they're getting out of hand, you feel me? I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if Diddy got a full head of hair or if he went to, you feel me, Turkey to get the hair implant. Like, I know it has nothing to do with nothing, but, man, what are we feeling about Diddy, man? Are we praying for Diddy? Do we hope that, you feel me, that it gets better for Diddy? Or, like, what are we hoping is the best? Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I genuinely feel bad for Diddy. Like, his career and his livelihood and every single thing that he worked for is done. But then again, you can't feel bad at the same time because he did it all to himself. If Diddy wasn't having these freak-offs, if Diddy wasn't doing the Diddy things, he would not be in this situation right now. But he was doing the Diddy thing, so he's in this situation. Like, every single day, you wake up, you're seeing a different allegation from Diddy. And I ain't gonna lie, him paying Cassie off might have been one of the worst things he ever done. Because everyone was looking when the lawsuit came out. He paid her off less than 48 hours. She wanted like $30 million. Who knows how much he paid her? It was probably above 8 figures though. He probably paid her more than $10 million. And they handled the stuff, quote unquote, amicably, however you say that word. And after that, now we're at this stage. After everyone sees that he paid that 8-figure plus in less than 48 hours, all the hawks seen it and they started swerping in, bro. Now they want a piece. They all want the money. All the people that Diddy was touching, or probably not all of them, you feel me? We don't really know everything yet, bro. And the only bad thing about Diddy, bro, that I feel like is gonna happen, like, let's take a break from the free costs and stuff for a second. I feel like they're gonna do deeper looks into like cases like, let's say like Biggie's case. Is he related to that? It's like Tupac's case. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Or like some other random people who got killed. Cause if the situation of him blowing up Kid Cudi's car is true, Diddy is probably, you feel me, and this is with no disrespect, you feel me, and we love Brother Love over here, man. Well, we love Brother Love before all these allegations came out, you feel me? You feel me? He's like a rainbow man, which it's nothing wrong with it. Also, he's probably you feel me? Like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm trying to word this a specific way so like nothing crazy happens. But Diddy is like, I don't think Diddy is gay. I think that he is probably bisexual from what people say about him or the allegations that came out. Diddy doesn't he doesn't just mess with men, he messes with women too. So he's, you feel me, just bisexual. Which it's nothing wrong if he's gay. We love the gay. We love the LGBTQ community over here, and we love the gay people over here. I just gotta say that, you feel me? YouTube is hella strict, so you feel me? I love everybody. But Diddy, you feel me? He's might be a sociopath, a psychopath. We don't know. No one really knows the real Diddy. You feel me? He likes men and women. You feel me? You get him mad, he might pack you out or get someone to pack you out. You feel me? And he's a freak boy. But hey, let me know how you guys feel about everything. What else new is gonna come out about Diddy? We don't know. But I guess we just gotta sit here and find out. It's your boy Big Act News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I am out.